One large ultimate with 4 sides of ranch. That'll be $10.88, sir.
Here you go. Just keep the change.
No, it's fine.
Really, I don't need it.
I don't want to. It's your money.
It's a tip.
No, it's not.
Excuse me?
I just drove almost 10 miles to bring you your food. 12 cents really isn't going to make any difference.
Is that right?
I'm just saying, if you can't afford the tip, then maybe you shouldn't be ordering out, sir. You could use the extra savings towards a treadmill or something.
A treadmill.
Or a gym membership or liposuction, I don't know.
How's that for a tip, you ungrateful shit?
Hey, douchebag!
You so fucking fired.
But he struck me first.
I no care. You lucky he no press charge.
How am I ever going to get ahead in life if no one tips?
I no know.
I mean, if fat people won't tip, it's hopeless.
If fat people no tip, it's hopeless. You know, people like you, why people like me, bomb Pearl Harbor.
That's fucked up.
Very fucked up. Get out.
My name is Jim Mills, and I am the creator of Buddies. What inspired me to get into animation? It was simply a medium through which I could attempt to make people laugh. That is pretty much the only reason I got into it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have. I watched a lot of cartoons growing up, but you know, my favorite stuff to watch was always, the old Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd. Those kind of cartoons, they just were so funny to me. And they were actually pretty violent and crude, you know? They still make me laugh today. I came up with the idea for the show because I know so many people that smoke marijuana, and a majority of them watch cartoons, you know, whether it's Adult Swim or Family Guy or, you know, whatever. And I just found it interesting that there wasn't a single cartoon out there dedicated to marijuana smokers. You know, I'm surprised there's not more movies and shows dedicated to it, but I think it's because of the fact that it's still a controversial issue. So, but I figured, you know, it's YouTube, so why not? I do have ideas for other shows. There's one I've been thinking about, and it would take place in an old folks home, and it would be like 50 or 60 years into the future. So it would be like today's generation in an old folks home. And what would that be like? I started animating when I was a kid. I used to make short little animations like on flip pads. I had a light box and index cards, and I would draw individual pictures, and I thought it was really cool how I could draw these individual frames or drawings and then, you know, flip them, and it created motion. And I would show that to my friends, and, you know, that was always fun. I didn't really get into animating with software until about maybe 2 years ago. I had never used any software at all, you know, hadn't used anything other than like Microsoft Word. So I was definitely a noob. And but I had this passion to put together a cartoon to make people laugh. And thanks to YouTube and a number of forums, I was able to pick it up pretty quickly. I do every single thing on my show, and in one sense I hate it. There's so many days where I'm just miserable because I'm doing every single thing, and I'm just like, you know, God, I wish I could have some help. And I've reached out for help. I've asked people to help me with the show, help me animate it. And it's funny. I thought people would jump at the opportunity, but for some reason, people aren't interested in animating 8 to 12 hours a day for free. I can say the one thing that inspires me when I'm down and, you know, just dead tired and I don't want to do it anymore is the response from my audience. Even though it's very small right now, I just get a real thrill out of making people laugh and entertaining people. So that really is, you know, what drives me at this point. Yeah, I would definitely like to do this for a living. In fact, I have to say, after a certain amount of time, if I can't begin making some kind of decent money doing this, I'll probably have to stop. Yeah, I know that sounds kind of shallow, but it's a tremendous amount of work, and I love doing it. I really do. And I know I say that I'm going to quit, and I probably never will. But I receive I would say a very positive response to my show. I know it's not for everybody. Whatever makes me laugh, I put into the show. There's no more thought into it than that. Some people have said it's borderline racist, and I just find that kind of funny because I'm the kind of person that loves Dave Chappelle. I love Paul Mooney. I think he's like one of the funniest dudes in the world. These guys say things that I could take offense to, but I don't, because they're simply trying to make us laugh. I'm just not offended by much. Everything I do in my cartoon is simply things that come to my mind that make me laugh, so I put them in there. Maybe I should filter it more often, but I just feel like that I'm not, a racist person or an offensive person, so I feel like I should just be able to say whatever I want if it's funny. But I might wind up getting my ass kicked, so who knows? I should probably have a warning before my show, but the one I have right now is more of a mock warning. It's kind of making fun of the whole idea that marijuana is illegal and that it's such a bad thing to do. Despite what people may think, I'm not a big marijuana user, but I know so many people that smoke it, and I know more people that smoke it than don't, and they're just normal people, and I just find it odd that it's illegal. So yeah, that's why I put the warning at the beginning of my show. My background is in screenwriting, so my first few episodes were a little slow and kind of drawn out. I'm just kind of understanding the nature of animation and how you have to really make things move along. But my process is pretty much just sitting down and thinking of a funny scenario and just kind of writing anything funny that pops in my head and then trying to mold that together into something coherent. In future episodes, what can you look forward to? I have no idea. You can look forward to things getting funnier and more outrageous, I guess. About half of my characters are based on real people consciously, and the other half are probably based on real people unconsciously. Meaning that when I look back and reflect upon what I've created, I see traits and characteristics of people I've known, but I wasn't thinking that when I created them. Yeah, I think there's no way around it, especially when you're doing comedy. Comedy is I don't think it's really anything you can learn. I think it's a point of view that you're kind of born with. You look at certain things in life and they're funny to you, even though no one else notices it. I've had times in my life where I'll see a certain person doing something and it's so hilarious to me, but no one around me is laughing. And then as soon as I point it out to them, then they're all laughing and then they see it. So I kind of look at comedy as a point of view that you just have. But yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff based on real situations. However, I never had a landlord that walked around naked, so I don't know where that came from. I don't think there's any animators that I necessarily look up to, but I'm definitely a huge fan of Chuck Jones, his style of animation. But I think I more look up to creators. I'm not a real big Family Guy fan. You know, I watch it and stuff, but I mean, I'm not blown away by it. But I'm a big admirer of Seth MacFarlane and what he's done. So I definitely look up to him. I love Mike Judge, you know, Beavis and Butthead. A ton of guys like on Adult Swim, but pretty much, you know, the people I look up to are people that make me laugh. And there's too many of those to name. And I definitely have a lot of respect for Lionel Richardson, who does Jay's Life. I think that is probably the most prolific cartoon on YouTube. And he's been doing this for a long time. He stuck with it for years, and he continues to produce great shows. And plus, you know, he helped get me into the Illuminati. I don't want people to think about anything when they watch my show. I just want them to laugh. And probably half of them are stoned anyways, so I doubt they're thinking about much. To up-and-coming animators, I'd like to say, don't do it. Don't get involved in animation in any way, shape, form, or fashion, because then that gives me a greater chance of succeeding. But seriously, it's hard work. It has to be in you, you know what I mean? It's like, it is hard work, but I enjoy it as much as I hate it, you know? I think I hate it mainly, I don't want to say I hate it, but I think that I have these ideas that I want to get out so quickly, and the process of animation is so slow, and that's the part that I hate. You'll know if you like it or not. I mean, I knew when I was a kid, when I first started doing flip books, you know if you have that bug where you really can spend a tremendous amount of time animating, or if it's just not for you.